Slice and burn, return, listen to yourself churn. Locking in, uniform and book, burning blood, letting every motive escalate. Automotive, incinerate, light a candle, light a motive, step down, watching heel, crush, uh-oh, this means no fear. Cavalier, renegade, steer clear, a tournament of lies. Offer me solutions, offer me alternatives, and I decline. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. The other night I drifted nice, continental drifted by mountain, sit in a light, Leonard Bernstein, Leonard Brezhnev, Lenny Bruce and Lester Banks, birthday party, cheesecake, jelly bean, boom, you symbiotic, patriotic, slam button, that's right, right. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine.
Hello and welcome back to Music for the End of the World, Doomers, and for everyone else too. Welcome, thanks for joining us again for another episode of Music for the End of the World, where we talk all things collapse and play some pretty good music. Now this week I've got a special guest, Paul, who's back for a second go, and we're going to be talking about one of the problems associated with overshoot. As we know, climate change is just one problem from overshoot, which is our main predicament, and that is wealth inequality. Welcome, Paul. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
And you're going to be playing some live tunes too again?
I'm going to play a cover song tonight, somebody else's tune,
Oh, excellent. Lovely.
and I'll try and make it relevant. I think it is. Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. And some of the music you've brought in to play tonight, I see Tism features fairly high.
Of course they do.
Uh-huh. All right. What have we got? We've got Interested in Apathy. Denial works for me. Well, that's a very apt song, I've got to say. You know? I think most people are working on that one. And I really like I'd Be Happier If I Was More Depressed. That's the spoken word. It's a terrific
There's
track.
something in that for all of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe a modern phenomenon, don't know.
That's right. Well, I think you're going to be happier when you know the truth, people. It's always better to face up to the truth and walk around with your head stuck in the sand. Yeah. All right. Well, before we get into talking about all those rich and powerful people who control everything, let's have a one quick song from Tism. I'm Interested in Apathy. When did that come out, you reckon? In the 80s?
I put late 80s.
Late
I
80s.
think. There's a fellow listening called Bex. I hope he's there, and he would confirm this immediately. But anyway.
Okay. And have you heard about, because I've seen Tism, have you heard rumours about who they are underneath their balaclavas?
Oh, look, the lead singer went on to have a band called Root.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and he's got a bit of a high profile. Damien Cow's Disco Machine, I think, is where he's at now.
Okay.
But believe it or not, I saw Tism unmasked
Oh.
at Paddo Town Hall, so we were fans.
Oh, right.
Love nothing more than a Tism concert, but I got there really early, I think after work or something, and they were doing a sound check.
Oh, okay.
Unmasked sound checking.
Right.
None the wiser. So there are all these rumours about, famous Aussie.
Yeah. Well, I heard it was some of the painters and dockers were in it.
Those sort of things.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if it's true.
This is true.
Oh, okay.
But Damien Cow's just an entity in himself.
All right.
Yeah, he's gone on to do stuff. Damien Cow's Disco Machine.
Okay. Ah.
But what I always found amazing about Tism is when you're wearing a balaclava,
Yeah.
you can slag any high-profile public figure you want.
Suddenly you got this anonymity. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's something in that.
Imagine if all the politicians wore balaclavas, mate. Imagine the stuff they come out with, you know?
If there was a general...
They wouldn't have to toe the party line. Yeah, they could actually say what they really mean.
No, that wasn't the minister from blah blah. That was somebody else.
Yeah.
In a
Yeah.
balaclava.
All right, people. Well, we're going to be talking about some of these rich bastards soon. But first, let's have Chisholm with "I'm Interested in Apathy," and I got a soft spot for apathy as well. Here they are, Chisholm.
Enough of this petty stuff for me. Not interested in pedantry. I'm interested in apathy. 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 Interest.
That was Chisholm, and of course, no one could hear my special guest Paul because I didn't have your fader on, man. I'm sorry. I apologise to everyone.
It's because you don't care.
Once
it's because you're
again,
apathetic.
too much apathy. That's right. But we're cool now, man. I can see it. I should have been watching the what do you call it? The little red things that are going there. Yeah. Anyway, now we're right. So they only got one half of the conversation when we were talking before. So they know
lucky.
that painters and dockers aren't in Tism. But who are you saying was the lead singer of Tism?
Damien Cow.
Damien Cow.
I think that's right. Yeah, disco. He's got Damien Cow's Disco Machine. He's just a bloke, bald-looking, middle-aged bloke. Not anyone from any other band, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw them unmasked once. Yeah, back in the day,
right.
and like I said, I was none the wiser. I couldn't run back to me mates.
During a sound check.
Yeah, during
So
the
before
sound
the concert. So
Before,
you got a sneak peek.
Just in the Paddo Town Hall, I was sitting there. Not Town Hall, Paddo RSL, whatever it was.
Imagine what it would be like now, man. It'd be like people that have their phones out, bang, it'll be up on.
That's right.
It'll be up on social media straight away.
Absolutely.
Hey, I can know who Chisholm are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could apply that circumstance to so many things.
Yeah.
Including my high school teacher wanting to punch my head in a students versus teacher basketball game.
Oh.
And I'm so glad he didn't lose his job. You know what I mean? He didn't punch me. He just was about to. But now, that would have been filmed.
Yeah,
he would
most
have lost
likely.
his job. And I
Most
think
likely.
that's a bit sad.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm straying.
Anyway, Paul's here with me to discuss all things collapse, and mainly we're going to be talking about wealth inequality because, as you all know, week after week, I rabbit on about it. Ecological overshoot is our driving predicament. That's where everything else stems from. Climate change, that comes from overshoot. Basically climate change is a waste problem. It's a pollution problem. But there's lots of others. Biodiversity loss, degrading of our agricultural soil, acidification of the oceans. I mean, you name it, there's so many things. And one of them is wealth inequality, which is growing all around the world, Paul.
It is, and the statistics are like mind-boggling, really.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that people just sort of move on from it. Like,
I know.
what is it? 1% of the population owns half the world's wealth, possibly.
Is equal to 50% of
Yeah,
total humanity.
yeah. Like,
I mean,
really, we should be up on the streets with pitchforks or whatever at that kind of.
I know. That's the greatest con, I find, that these rich and powerful people who control everything, they control the media. I mean, look at Murdoch. And yet they can do this con job on us on going out and voting for people who don't have our basic interests at heart.
Well, to speak of somebody very relevant at the moment, I can picture working people standing next to Gina Reinhardt on a stage on her behalf objecting to the mining tax.
Yeah.
So they were going into bat.
Going to bat for Gina.
And there are people going into bat for Gina at the moment in this current...
Well, I was just
portrait
reading
thing.
about the portrait fiasco. Apparently a whole bunch of Australian swimmers, the swim team or something, come out in support of her. But, I mean, that's pretty easy to see why, because she pays them money. I mean, follow the money. Always follow the money.
Yeah.
And she's pumped in millions and millions into lots of sporting teams in Australia, including the swim team.
Yeah. And there's probably a political defence of her by some people for whatever reason. But I was talking to you earlier about, I like to think that Australians don't revere Gina Reinhardt in the way they might in America, where they tend to... That's assuming that... I've always seen America as what we should not be.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not, if we can help it,
Yeah.
not become. So I'm kind of proud that Gina's copped so much flack recently, because people don't accept...
Leaves you a bit optimistic for the Australian population.
Yeah. They don't accept this obscene wealth hoarding. But
When you talk to people just out in the street privately, of course, when you mention that, why should someone be a billionaire, when other people have got absolutely nothing, they say, yeah, well, actually, it's pretty stupid. And yet, in public life, it's all hunky-dory.
Yeah, it doesn't... The outrage about that doesn't reach any height.
No.
But the outrage about gender stuff
Oh, yeah.
does. The sort of culture war rubbish.
Yes. That's
Gets
right.
people
Other
in-
groups, not the billionaire group, but other groups in society are marginalised and blamed and hassled and...
Yeah. Yeah, but they get a free pass somehow. Like I worked for Qantas between 88 and 98, and the CEO then, James Strong, I remember he was on $1 million a year.
Man.
And at the time, even then we thought, what the hell? I mean, who needs $1 million a year?
Yeah.
25 million is what? So that's...
Yeah.
I don't imagine working people have had that kind of rate of increase in their... That's $25 million, James. What's his name? The other one. The recent Qantas guy.
Yeah.
Alan Joyce, I think.
Yeah, Alan Joyce, that's it.
25 million.
Yeah.
But for some reason, people don't remain outraged about that.
I know.
I don't understand that.
But man, if you're a dull bludger, if you've been something, look at robo-debt and all that sort of stuff. Look at the efforts they go to persecute those people who maybe owe a couple $100 or something.
I read a comment the other day. It's that sort of mean-spiritedness that gets encouraged by certain, let's say, quarters. And it was the $300 rebate for power.
Okay.
And of course, there's people they can't believe that people on welfare are getting that $300 bonus as well. They haven't earned that. And that's what they are angry about.
Yeah.
They're not angry about the CEO of Qantas making $25 million.
I know. Because the media deflects it. The media forms the public opinion and the public conversation space, and they don't really go for it.
Yeah, they somehow...
Even the left-wing ABC,
if we haven't dealt with at least the obscenity of CEO salaries, since we're talking wealth inequality, I don't know.
I know. It's insane.
Because I have people try to tell me that I don't understand how economics works
I don't
because I've
understand.
objected to a CEO making... Oh, you don't understand, mate. It's all about blah and blah. But that man actually with a straight face says that the working stiffs at the front line at Qantas are too expensive to employ, so I'm going to have to lay some off.
Yeah.
And he happily does that while getting $25 million.
I know.
So that stuff, well,
I know. Look, it's all going to be changing. It's all going to be crumbling because, well, when it starts hitting people really hard, as it will people, Doomers, collapse is inevitable. But justice is not. And that's what we have to try and work for and strive for. And that's what we're going to be talking a little bit about tonight with the wealth inequality. Nice. Okay. I know that most people, though, are in denial. So let's have one more Tism song. Denial works for me. And it probably works for you too. But it only works for so long.
Yes, that's right.
Because you can deny. But then when you go to the supermarket and there's no food on the shelves, or maybe the power's off and you haven't got any running water, then you start waking up from denial. Anyway, here they are, Tism.
Why put off till tomorrow? Responsibility possibilities. They'll just come back to haunt you. Ignore them totally. No means no, no means yes, and everything in between and all the rest. No means no, no means yes, and everything in between and all the rest. Time, if I'm a lyricist of any note, I gotta come up with the punchline. Then again, maybe I don't. No means no, no means yes, and everything in between and all the rest. No means no, no means yes, and everything in between and all the rest. Yes, and everything in between and all the rest. No means no, no means yes, and everything in between and all the rest. All the rest.
Similarities. We have a regular contributor here on Dollars Making Sense, Philippa Hunt, who is a psychologist, and she's developed a learning program for women. Now, women and
in the Bega Valley, and it shows. With sold signs up all over the valley, give yourself the green tick of approval and get in contact with Bega Valley Realty. Give them a call on 64920 426. That's 64920 426. Bega Valley Realty, proud sponsors of Edge FM.
Clark Business Advisors is a locally owned and operated accounting firm with over 35 years' experience. With an office in Merimbula, they provide a full range of accounting and business advisory services, which include taxation and compliance, business advisory and administration, payroll and bookkeeping, and accounting software solutions. Owned and operated by Stephen R. Clark, a second-generation accountant who has been practicing since 1983, Clark Business Advisors is a trusted name in the local and greater community. You can reach them on 6495 1320. Clark Business Advisors are a long-time sponsor of 93.7 Edge FM, Bega Community Radio.
And that was some messages from our sponsors, who without them we would not be here. So make sure if you need their business, go see them. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. There's a few little gremlins here. I've got a few different faders and stuff, but everything is cool now. And before that, we had Tism. Denial works for me. Probably works for a lot of people. So, Paul, you're going to do a song for us now.
Yeah.
This is a cover you decided to do.
And I think I've recently I heard you were talking about being honest about the sort of prospects or the not great prospects.
Yes.
Makes you value even more what matters.
Yep.
Including your loved ones.
Yeah.
So I'll be 60 this year, and with my 6 years of wisdom, your loved ones, your family, and music.
Yeah.
The only thing that really has ever made any sense to me.
Yeah, I'm probably the same.
Beyond,
man. I'm
beyond
probably
that,
the
it's all
same.
just sort of stuff.
I always say music is a language of us all, you know. It doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing in the world. You can sit down and have a jam with someone,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, this is a song by a young artist, Aussie artist called Alex the Astronaut. And I just was really moved by the fact that she verbalises what we're talking about in terms of music beautifully. It's called I Believe in Music.
Okay, and this time, Paul, I promise I'm not going to blank out the first 45 seconds of your
Can you hear
song
me?
as I did last time.
Am I coming through?
Yeah. No, you're looking good, man. All right, and here is Paul.
For my 7th birthday, I was given a CD player, and I played Paul Kelly again and again and again. My dad listened to Coldplay, but I'd always ask him to play Cat Stevens again and again and again. Some people believe in a God above who says hello when he sends his love and sends to us peace on earth, but I don't need no winged friend. It's my guitar and some paper and pens. That's right, my friends, I believe in music. Just signing into my phone and bringing the lyrics up. I remember one Christmas Eve, my uncle brought his guitar and he showed me how to play David Bowie's Space Oddity. Played it till my fingers bled. My mom sent me off to bed. The next day Santa brought me my own guitar. Some people believe in a God above, says hello and he sends his love, sends to us peace on earth, but I don't need no winged friend. It's my guitar and some paper and pens. That's right, my friends, I believe in music. My grandpa was very sick. Oh, God damn. Sorry, everyone. Hang on, just bear with me. My grandpa was very sick. I played his favorite song for him. Amazing Grace on a piano in the back of a hospital wing. Simple chords and a melody made him smile from cheek to cheek. The next day I cried as I said my goodbyes. Says hello and he sends his love, sense to us, peace on earth, but I don't need no winged friend. My guitar and some paper and pens. That's right, my friends, I believe in music. I believe in music.
Oh, nice, Paul. Very nice.
Sorry
man.
about the
Oh, yeah, we had
gaps.
a few little gaps there with technology. Oh, that was lovely.
Well, I'm sure the youngsters know how to make it not disappear off the screen, off the phone.
Who sang that song?
Her name's Alex the Astronaut.
Oh, Alex the Astronaut. Okay.
Yeah, she's probably, I don't know, early mid-20s maybe. Yeah, got quite a following.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Oh, nice.
when you guys like us look at festival
Yeah.
and we don't recognise a single band,
Yes.
she's one of them.
Okay. No, it was great.
Thank you.
I love music too. But drifting away from music, I was looking at James Hansen, who's a climate scientist in the States. He had I think it was a week ago or something, a new report came out. He's been doing ocean surface temperatures.
Right.
And they're completely off the charts. I mean, they're scientists, he's saying they're scared at how quickly and how high the temperature's going.
Right.
It's, I mean, all you had to look at, we had the bleaching in the
Yeah.
Barrier Reef, well, they had global bleaching, in the Sols they had bleachings everywhere.
Didn't you say you'd seen in the Solomons, the result of tidal changes?
A lot of it. I mean,
Communities?
they've lost a bunch of reefs, and whole communities have been moved from their islands
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
onto the mainland, onto the other islands, because they just can't live there anymore.
Yeah.
Rising salinity levels.
Yeah.
There's one place where the village graves are actually under the tide line now. That's how.
Yeah, and that's a reality.
That's how much the water has risen, and it's not going down. It's only going to rise higher. So, yeah, that's how it is. Are you going to play another song too later? I tell you what, I really love that, The Undecided.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I thought that was a great song.
Oh, good on you.
Yeah.
It was a bit dodgy
No.
musically, but
I thought it was good, man. You can always do that one again. Anyway, here's a song by Angie McMahon. Now, on Monday morning, I came on Matt's show, The Anthropocene, and there were a few gremlins in the studio at that time as well. And he was telling me about this song. It's a cover, another cover, and he never managed to play it. So I thought I would play it tonight. I've been listening to it on and off the last few days. So it's Reckless, by Oz Crawl.
Yeah.
But Angie does a great version. And the first line is the same, but then she's got her own lyrics.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
And
about this.
it ties into what we're talking about tonight too. So here it is, Reckless by Angie McMahon.
Meet me down by the jetty landing, where the scientists all say the ocean's rising where we're standing. A new coal mine opens to cook the living land away. Another natural disaster fries the Great Barrier Reef. Woodside are burning up the Pilbara. Greenwash public statements, they're still turning up the heat. She don't like that kind of behavior. She don't like that kind of behavior. No. Throw down your guard.
Andrew McMahon with Reckless. I love that. And I like how she mashes it up a little bit with Neil Young at the
Bit
end
of
there.
Neil in there,
Yeah,
yeah, I love
that's nice. I really like the lyric about unnatural disasters happening again, because that's what they are now, people. We don't have natural disasters, you know, all these floods and droughts and bushfires and stuff. They're unnatural disasters because
that. Yeah, that makes sense.
they're because of us.
Yeah.
8 billion of us.
That's significant, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Natural disaster.
Yeah. And you can get rid of that other phrase, 1 in 100 year.
Yeah.
You know, because they're not 1 in 100 years.
Mate, it's always been happening. It's always been happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Climate's always changing, mate. What's wrong with you?
That's right. That's right. Well, we'll see. Yeah. And going back to the wealth inequality issue, Paul, one thing we were talking about is why aren't people out in the streets uprising, you know, protesting this? And I think one of the things is because people maybe think maybe I could be like that.
Yeah. I think that's definitely part of the American story, at least.
Yeah.
That sort of believing your dreams.
And look, I think that's, you know, that's part of the human situation, isn't it? Where, you know, people are different, and some people become wealthier than other people, and that's fine. I mean, that's just the natural progression of things. But there's got to be a limit, because otherwise, if there's no limit, then you say, okay, one person can have the entire wealth of the planet, and everyone, of course, will say, no, that's ridiculous. Okay, so what's the limit then? How much is enough?
Well, if I think even an economist would probably say this: if inequality goes far enough, the system will collapse. And the irony of that is that their billions won't be worth bugger all, because if the system collapses, all that imaginary wealth in a computer system won't exist. Your houses won't be worth $1 million.
Yeah.
All that stuff, it will collapse. And it's just to what extent those moguls are prepared to push it. Like, I'm sure they're aware that.
Well, Mark Zuckerberg isn't spending hundreds of millions of dollars building some bunker over in Hawaii.
Oh, is he?
You know, there's a whole bunch of billionaires building little bolt hole apocalypse bunkers over in New Zealand. Is very popular.
Okay.
New Zealand's a popular place. Alaska's popular.
So what you're suggesting is that they've accepted that the end of the world is nigh. And,
why would
bugger
they?
Everyone else.
You know, I mean, billionaires. I mean, they don't like giving their money away, right? That's why they're billionaires.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, you know, they would have a good reason for spending hundreds of millions of dollars in building these apocalypse bunkers.
Yeah.
You know, but you don't hear about it. Now and then there's a little story somewhere.
Oh, you know why? Because it's dismissed as the politics of envy. I've seen this brought up, anytime this is brought up to somebody on the, I have to say it, right wing of politics, they just, they just dismiss, oh, that's politics of envy.
Yeah.
That's just people being, I don't want $1 billion.
Yeah.
I don't want $1 million a year for 1,000
Or you're a communist. You're a commie. That's the other thing they like to say too.
Yeah.
You know, you start talking about wealth inequality and sharing it around a bit, wealth transfer, then you suddenly become a communist.
Yeah. Ignoring the fact that the Chinese Communist Party are the greatest capitalists on the
planet. They've got a whole bunch of billionaires over in China.
Yeah, they've mastered capitalism like you wouldn't
including Li Jinping, that's right. But I don't think, it's hard to hear like a million seconds, a million and a billion, you know, like.
The difference is.
A million seconds is about 7 days, 7 and something days, right?
Yeah.
A billion seconds, 37 years. Yeah. There's a huge difference between someone who's got tens of millions of dollars and someone who's got billions of dollars.
And I've got a sense that people don't really grasp it.
No.
Because I remember a mate of mine saying, I don't know why it felt more sort of profound, but he said, you know, it's $1 million a year for 1,000 years is just 1 billion.
Yeah.
And for some reason that went, oh my God, it's an insane amount of money.
I know.
You couldn't spend it in a sense.
That's right. No.
But what I find fascinating is okay, the argument as to whether these billionaires should be paying tax or not, that assumes that we have to make the bastards pay it. My question is, why don't they want to? Like, what happens to people like Gina Reinhardt where they don't want to contribute?
Yeah.
That's pretty creepy. Like, surely she should want to,
Yeah.
as much as possible, or any of those billionaires.
Well, my take on it too is particularly like people like Gina, say, who have inherited their wealth, right? They've grown up within that environment, and that environment is an extremely unnatural environment compared to the 99% of us, the rest of us in the country, and they sort of lose touch with the reality in lots of ways.
Yeah.
You know?
And I guess that happens along the along the spectrum. Or the somebody on 300 grand a year could have that kind of detachment from reality, really, because that's a lot of money. I've heard something that beyond 150 grand a year is not contributing anything to your happiness.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how sociologists sort of
Yeah.
determined this, but it was interesting, and I reckon it's probably true.
Yeah.
Like,
could be.
whatever toys you buy yourself after 150
Yeah.
grand is not really
Yeah.
not likely to be happier.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a conundrum, really, why we aren't protesting more. Anyhow, that's how it is. I think it could be time for some more sponsors because we are running out of time. So here are some lovely sponsors helping keep Edge FM on air.
E2B Phone Repairs has been servicing the Bega Valley since 2013. E2B repair mobile phones, tablets of all brands and replace screens, batteries, buttons, sensors, cameras and all digital devices. E2B Phone Repairs has completed over 10,000 repairs in the 8 years of business, and all our repairs come with a 6 months warranty. E2B Phone Repairs has a full retail shop in Eden and also repair once a week in Bega. Give E2B Phone Repairs a call on 0490 010 109 if you need your broken phone or tablet screen fixed. That's 0490 010 109. E2B is proud sponsors of 93.7 Edge FM.
So you've heard all the endless repeats on commercial radio with non-stop 3-day music marathons, and along the way have possibly paid out a rather large sum to get your 30 seconds of fame for very little return. Now compare this with the 93.7 Edge FM sponsorship deals. Your name and product can still be broadcast right around the Bega Valley for a fraction of the cost and twice the benefits. It helps us stay on air and greatly enhances your business reputation. For more information, give us a call on 6492 4202 during business hours.
And that was our lovely sponsors. Make sure you show them your patronage. Thank you very much. Okay, you're listening to 93.7 Edge FM, Bega's best community radio. And you're listening to Music for the End of the World with me, Chris, where we talk everything collapse and play some nice tunes as well. And today we've got my friend Paul, a local musician who's in. We're talking about wealth inequality, which is one of the factors of overshoot. Everything, Paul, everything is connected. That's what I take out of a lot of indigenous philosophies around the world. They realise that everything is connected.
Yeah.
And that includes natural things, that includes society, that includes economics, politics. Everything is connected.
Yeah.
And you can't just look at one thing in isolation, e.g. climate change, global warming, CO2 emissions. Yes, that is a big problem, but if you just focus on that, you're missing all the other things, which being one of them, wealth inequality, which brings its own problems to society and has its own dangers.
And when you talk about that disconnection, I think of our food supply even. Like we stand in a supermarket and I always think Well, I just live in a small country town and there's always a huge bank of chocolate. And it's always there. And I assume it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
And we all do.
Oh,
And we
exactly.
have no sense of where the hell it comes
No.
from or how finite that resource is.
Yeah.
We all just assume we're always going to have tucker on the shelves. And I think that's kind of a disconnect, I guess.
Absolutely. That's part of the problem that we have dealing with this issue of overshoot, is that, particularly in the West, but a lot of us, we're sort of become separated from nature. We see ourselves apart from nature, maybe even above, I'm not sure, but we don't see ourselves as part of the biosphere, as part of the cycle.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem because, as you know, humans, we can't live solely just with us. I mean, we need all the things in the big web of life to keep everything going along tickety-boo.
And when you think of the knowledge that Aboriginal people would have had at the time we arrived, encyclopedic knowledge of the connectedness of like the ecology, and it didn't get used.
Yeah.
That's tragic. I think that's pretty tragic.
All right. Well, funnily enough, I've had a couple of requests which I've promised to play, so I'm going to have to play them. One's for Mish, who's listening up in Mossvale, where they've already had a couple of frosts.
In Mossvale? Oh, yeah, they would have.
Yeah. We haven't had any at our place yet.
Good.
Yeah. No, so they've had a couple of frosts up there, and this one is by Andy Pryboy, Tomorrow Wendy.
It is complete now. Two ends of time are neatly tied. A one-way street. She's walking to the end of the line. There she meets the faces she keeps in her heart and mind. They say goodbye. Tomorrow Wendy is going to die. Tomorrow Wendy is going to die. Underneath the chilly grey November sky, you can make believe that Kennedy is still alive. They're shooting for the moon and smiling Jack is driving by. They say good try. Tomorrow Wendy's going to die. Tomorrow Wendy's going to die.
Only God says jump, so I set the time. 'Cause if he ever saw it was through these eyes of mine, and if he ever suffered, it was me who did his crying. Oh yeah, goodbye. Tomorrow Wendy's going to die. Tomorrow Wendy is going to die.
I told the priest, don't plan on any second comings. God got his ass kicked the first time he came down here slumming. He had the balls to come, the gall to die, and then forgive us. No, I don't wonder why, I wonder what he thought that get us. Hey, hey, goodbye. Tomorrow Wendy is going to die. Tomorrow Wendy is going to die.
All right, Andy Pryboy with Tomorrow Wendy. That's for Mish. Hope you like it, bro. Speaking of billionaires, Paul, you also got to remember, man, you know, they have made their fortunes made their wealth from our collective resources. I mean, talking about Gina, for example.
Yeah.
You know, she's made from digging stuff up.
Yeah.
Which, when you think about it, you know, it should belong to everyone. I mean, we all live in this country. We're all Australians. Why is Gina getting it all?
Well, a lot of the defence of such people is, but she provides people with jobs. And I saw something the other day that summed that up beautifully, and it said, can we get rid of this idea that people are being given jobs by these companies? It's actually people who give their lives. The giving comes from, some people give their lives to these companies, and the companies in return pay them as little as they can get away with.
Yeah.
So who's giving who?
That's right.
What, you know?
Yeah. No, man, it's a problem, and it's only going to get worse. So there's no, all around the world, in America, in Europe, it's happening everywhere, you know. The gap between the richest and the poorest is getting bigger and bigger. And like you say, there's only one logical conclusion to it. When it reaches critical mass, the revolution.
It'll collapse.
Yeah.
It just won't even,
Yeah.
the money won't be worth.
Yeah.
You know,
That's if we have enough time to actually get to that point before all the other things. You know?
Well, you know, I hate to politicise it, but it's pretty well known that sort of channeling of wealth up to began with Reagan.
Yeah.
In the States.
Thatcher, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the giant tax breaks, the trickle down rubbish that I think was still being sold, to be honest, that trickle down idea. Yeah. And I think what you were saying before, people fall for it because they think they potentially could be.
What a humiliating thought, though, trickle-down economics, you know, which is all these, you know, these very 1% up the top stuffing their mouths and little crumbs are falling down and you got the mass of everyone else, just like little baby birds with their mouths open, getting their little crumbs, you know. Like,
it's like their
break.
Sweat is dripping on us.
Yeah, I know. Give us a break, man. All right. You going to do another song, Paul? Or you don't have to, man. I don't want to force you.
I'm just trying to think if I can pull it off. I play it on the piano normally.
This is Undecided?
Do you want me to do the Undecided?
I love the Undecided.
All right, I'll do a guitar version, all right?
Oh, did you do it on your squeeze box, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
What's one of the other ones you did on your guitar last time?
I did Plastic Brain.
Oh, Plastic Brain, that's right.
I don't know whether I've got one in me.
Oh, okay, that's all right, man. You can come back again for a third time.
Yeah, I'll be
That's
prepared.
okay.
I'll be prepared.
Because I do have another request, actually, that I've got to play to one of my oldest friends. I've known her since she was born.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's how long, way back we go. This is for Rachel, and this is by David Gray. It's pretty well known. Babylon.
I met Rachel today, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I did meet Rachel.
You did meet Rachel today. Yeah. Okay, here is David Gray, Babylon, for you, Rach. See you tomorrow.
Friday night, I'm going nowhere. All the lights are changing, green to red. Turning over TV stations, situations running through my head. Looking back through time, you know it's clear that I've been blind, I've been a fool. To open up my heart to all that jealousy, that bitterness, that ridicule. Saturday, I'm running wild and all the lights are changing red to green. Moving through the crowds, I'm pushing, chemicals are rushing in my bloodstream. if you want it, come and get it, crying out loud. The love that I was giving you was never in doubt. Let go your heart, let go your head, and feel it now. Let go your heart, let go your head, and feel it now. Babylon, Babylon, Babylon. Sunday all the lights of London shining, sky is fading red to blue. Kicking through the autumn leaves and wondering where it is you might be going to. Turning back for home, you know I'm feeling so alone, I can't believe. Climbing on the stair, I turn around to see you smiling there in front of me. And if you want it, come and get it, crying out loud. The love that I was giving you was never in doubt. Let go your heart, let go your head, and feel it now. Let go your heart, let go your head, and feel it now. Let go your heart, let go your head, and feel it now. Let go your heart, let go your head, and feel it now. Babylon, 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 Babylon.
Babylon by Dave Gray. That's for you, Rachel. Thanks for tuning in, people. It's coming up to the end of the show. Thank you very much for my special guest, Paul.
Thanks for having me.
Oh,
It's
man,
so much
anytime,
fun.
bro,
And it's beautiful
anytime.
coming down and hanging at your joint.
Thanks,
if I
man.
can mention that on
Thank
air.
you, thank you. It's nice to be around nature, isn't it? That's one of my little that keeps me sane and
Yeah.
and upbeat. You
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
just being around nature, listening to the animals, watching the birds, listening
Yep.
to the river.
Yep.
It's really soothing.
Yeah, you got to do
You
it.
know,
Yep.
you have to, because as I say, there's no good news. So only bad, I'm afraid. So thank you very much, listeners, for tuning in. See you next week, where I may or may not have a guest. I'm not sure yet. We sort of do it by the seat of our pants, this show. And remember, as I always say, collapse is inevitable, but justice is not. So it's something that we can fight for. So keep making those community connections, strengthening your relationships, looking after you people that you love, and try and get a good night's sleep if you can. I'm going to leave you with a song that I've chosen, actually. It's one of my favourite bands in the Solomon Islands. One Tox, they're called. And this song is Ramakanji. And I'm going to play this, dedicate this for my wife, because she loves this song and she's very good at dancing to it. So here's One Tox from the Solomon Islands and Ramakanji. Good night.